How's it going, sneak peekers? I'm Emily, and yesterday we had the opportunity to watch Madam Web before it comes to theaters, and I'm here now to warn you against watching this movie. To make a long story short, it's a combination of every problem superhero movies have had recently, and then some. One of the first problems you might notice when watching this movie is that the acting isn't good. This goes for all four main actresses, Dakota Johnson, Sydney Sweeney, Isabella Merced, and Celeste O'Connor. However, the worst culprit is our antagonist played by Tahar Rahim, specifically his voice. It's not just a weird American accent by the French actor, but every time you see him speaking, the words don't match up with his mouth. It seems as if his entire performance was voiced over for some strange reason. It doesn't help that his character is desperately underdeveloped and strays from his comic counterpart. I mean, it makes sense for Sony to adapt him differently since most comic fans wouldn't know who he is, but it's certainly a strange choice to make a mentor character into a cheap horror version of Spider-Man. While we're on the topic of Spider-Man, this movie has by far been the worst offender of Sony trying to use his characters without the web crawler's appearance. In this movie, you have Uncle Ben, played by Adam Scott, along with his pregnant sister, Mary Parker, played by Emma Roberts. Their inclusion in the plot and the constant hinting towards their connection to Peter Parker is annoying and just reminds the audience that they could be watching 10 better Spider-Man movies. The worst part is how producers told press that they didn't include any references to Venom or add any post-credit scenes so that the movie could feel focused on Madam Web's character. But when they're constantly hitting you over the head with references to Spider-Man, that tactic seems to be wasted. But what if you're not terribly interested in a complex story? You might be going to see some fun action between four Spider-Women, or you might be going because Dakota Johnson hypnotized you with her weirdly seductive advertising campaign. May it be action or romance, you should be told one thing before you secure your ticket: it has none. Despite what the trailers showed, there are little to no fight scenes in this movie. The most action that happens comes from our characters running from the evil Spider-Man or running over evil Spider-Man with cars. As for any chemistry, the closest thing you can get to scandal in this movie is the three high school girls dancing on top of a table for some boys in a diner, which was as uncomfortable and pointless as it sounds. As this review concludes, I think it's important that I bring up the nail in the coffin, the ending. It has been a trend in comic book movies for a character to gain their defining attributes at the end of the movie, casually known as earning the suit. This had been seen in the Fantastic Four reboot, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and more, but this movie takes it to a new extreme. While trying not to spoil the ending, it's bizarre how they make our characters earn their suits, and it makes the movie feel as if it's part one that you don't want a part two of. In my opinion, if you need to catch a Valentine's Day movie, you're better off watching Anyone But You on streaming or catching Lisa Frankenstein in theaters. But if you found yourself enjoying Madam Web, please reach out to us at Sneak Peek TSTV on Instagram or Twitter and let us know what you thought and where I was wrong. I'm sure y'all are tired of my rambling, so I'll send it back over to our hosts.